Just arrived at the hospital ready for my manometry and pH. Wish me luck. So I'm currently in the waiting room, waiting to be given my manometry. I will let you know how I get on, and I'll be back in very soon with a pH monitor in my nose as well. Just a quick update that the consultant is running late, so I'm still sat waiting, but hopefully it'll be over with soon. So wish me luck. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So yesterday I went for my pH manometry study. I've inserted a few clips of when I went. I didn't actually do the video of my manometry because I wasn't allowed, because there was 3 people in the room and the room was very small, so I wasn't allowed to do it. But I had the manometry done and it was quite simple. Wasn't even as bad as I thought it was going to be. Didn't have any numbing spray in my nose. Basically they tell you to tip your head back and they start inserting the tube. They then basically thread it through, and then just as they hit towards the throat they tell you to put your head back down, and then they basically can continue to insert it and tell you to swallow as and when you feel you need to. They then ask you to lay down, and then they basically squirt 10 5ml syringes, one every 30 seconds, into the corner of your cheek, and they basically tell you to swallow. The 30-second countdown will begin. You can actually see the screen where the waves come down as you're swallowing. They basically said that it was likely that I had some sort of hiatus hernia going on, and that was probably the reason why I was getting a lot of acid reflux. Apart from that, they couldn't see any other issue with my swallowing. It probably down to inflammation because of my LPR reflux. There is an operation apparently that I can have done in order to fix it. But obviously I'm due to get an NJ tube fitted soon, so I think I'll probably wait to see how my reflux is once I've had that tube fitted, and then decide then whether I want to have an operation or not. Obviously they've got to analyse all the results once I hand this monitor back. This is my pH monitor. It's been in now for just under 24 hours. I've got to take it out in the next 10 minutes. And basically they give you I'll hold it upside down. Hold on. So they basically give you this nice little nifty monitor here. And basically when you have a symptom of reflux, you press this button. When you have something to eat, you press this button, and then you press it again when you've finished eating. And you press this button when you wake up, before you go to bed, and then again when you wake up. This basically is connected to this wire. This wire then runs all the way down, as you can see, and then goes around my ear and into my nose and down my throat. So if I open my mouth, I don't know if you can see, I'll try and level it. Look. No, you can't see. Basically, you can see the tube right down the back of your throat, and it's a bit uncomfortable at first, but once you've eaten, it's not as uncomfortable as it was originally when they first put it down. They basically give you a few forms as well, so that you can basically fill it out. I've filled mine out with when you've eaten, basically what time you start, what time you finish, any comments that you want to make about it, like how you felt or anything like that. And then they give you when you've been laying down, when you've got back up, what symptoms you had when you've been sleeping, for example, and obviously a symptom checker to tell you what symptoms, and it also goes on the back as well. I've had quite a few symptoms. I've had about 6 symptoms. Obviously, I haven't pressed it every single time I've hiccuped or every single time I've burped, just because of the fact that I'd be pressing it all the time. But yeah, I mean, I'm having to take this tube out myself. It's basically put in this little bag thing here, and I've basically got to sort this out in a minute. They also then give you a form basically showing you how to disconnect and how to basically take your tube out. Because of the COVID rules, normally they would take it out themselves and ask you to go back at a selected time to have it taken out. But because of the COVID situation, they're asking all patients to take the tube out their nose themselves. I've got this taped here under my chin here and on my cheek here and also here, which is why my hair's a mess, because I haven't done my hair yet, because every time I try and brush my hair, I end up catching the tube. So it's going to be fun having an NJ tube, but it's needed, so I'm not that bothered. But yeah, it's been quite simple. Getting the tubes fitted was not that difficult. It was fine inside straight away, but because he'd hit my stomach with this pH monitor, he had to pull it back. So from nose to stomach, the manometry went in 55 centimeters, I think it was, and this one is in 35, so it's roughly stops around about here, so that they can measure all the acid reflux and stuff that I've had. So if anyone's worried about a pH and manometry, please don't worry. I watched quite a few YouTube videos prior to having my manometry and pH done because I was really anxious about it, but really it's absolutely nothing to worry about. Just swallow when they tell you to swallow. I did have a few mishaps where I swallowed prior to them telling me to swallow, when they told me to stop, like, try not to swallow again. But you've got something in the back of your throat. It's natural that you're going to swallow. Just try and do your best not to swallow for them 30 seconds. My mishaps happened because he was squirting the water in my side of my cheek and it was running down the back of my throat, because they do tell you to lay at something like a 45-degree angle. And obviously when they first put the tube in, you just can't stop swallowing. So they have to wait for them refluxes to settle down a little bit before they can start the test. But other than that, it's been quite easy. I've constantly felt like my nose has been running. And having a drink, obviously I'm hitting this tube all the time. So I'll be glad to get this taken out. Obviously once I get my NJ, it'll be more plush against my cheek, hopefully. And I won't have this big tape on my nose. I'll just have a tape on my cheek to keep it in. But yeah, basically if you look on the wire, you'll see like little numbers. Mine's at 35 here. So that's where they can see how it's gauged. But yeah, it's really nothing to worry about. If you have any questions, please message them below, or you can hop over to my Instagram and you can message me there, because my DMs are always open. So yeah, pH manometry done and dusted. Hopefully I'll get the full result eventually soon, and I hope you have a nice day. It's a bit cooler today, so I'm about to take this tube out myself now, and I will see you all again soon. If you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll be very, very grateful. And I'll be back on again soon with some more highlights and videos and updates coming shortly. Take care. Bye.